Hello, everybody. Welcome to Beyond Boundaries with Lisa Richmond. I'm Lisa Richmond, and this is Tarot Tuesday. So, I have decided to invite you all into the perspective of the card pull, and we are going to do a collective reading today using different tarot decks as well as some beautiful oracle decks. I will post the decks that I use in the comments, and we can all kind of just dive into this beautiful collective reading. So, I'd like to share right now the message that came through when I was tuning in for this morning's reading. So, Spirit came in with a theme of great transitions, great transitions, forward momentum, journey of the heart, follow your yellow brick road is what I heard. Follow your yellow brick road. Now, obviously, this is a coined term from the movie The Wizard of Oz. And, I have had a lot of visionary and ideas come through that have been led by this beautiful path, following your path, continue walking forward on your path, allowing your path unfold for you. The specifics of the yellow brick road was really in connection to the movie The Wizard of Oz, and just follow the yellow brick road. And, each character from that movie was kind of limited by the perspective of their own perceived kind of limitations, where they came from, what they were born into, and what their limitations were around that, and how these unlikely characters kind of come together in order to form a bond and a trust to follow this yellow brick road, this road that leads them down the path to seek something in which they know that can be available to them, which once seemed out of reach. So I really believe that there's a beautiful message in this for you, whether the Wizard of Oz has had a influential part of your life, if that's something that you connected to in the past. Maybe it connects you to your inner child, or a perspective from your inner child of awe, wonder, imagination. So that's a really specific example, but they were really quite insistent upon this. Follow the yellow brick road. Maybe it's time to watch that movie again, seeing what messages do come up for you in that. This was also followed with the message of allow for unexpected gifts. Allow for unexpected gifts and opportunities, otherwise not planned. Okay. Now, these gifts, they said gifts in the form of messages, opportunities, ideas, and earnings. Okay, so these are unexpected gifts and opportunities, otherwise not planned, may be coming in the form of messages, opportunities, ideas, and earnings. So this really had the feeling of when we take the blinders off of how we want to kind of see things to go, how we plan our road, our path to go, sometimes that actually narrows the perspective. It narrows the vision of being able to receive these things that otherwise we wouldn't be able to receive, because we're kind of closed into a certain idea of how it should look, how it should be, how it should unfold. So these messages, they said, may come in many forms. And these forms are usually not in expected ways. So they can come in the form of animal communication, music and lyrics, imagery that might come through music, or frequencies that elicit visions or images. Our dreams are really significant right now. Even if the dreams, when we wake up, they might not make a lot of sense. They might not be in logical sense or chronological order or have a rhyme or reason. And that's actually the whole point of it, is like, how do we feel when we wake up from these? What has it elicited in your imagery, in your body's chemistry, in the way that your body's interacting with your thoughts, feelings, and emotions. You know, what are these dreams bringing up? Are they sparking creativity? Are they sparking new ideas? Something that might be new or different. Again, animals have such a large capacity to communicate for us. We are able to really, when we put aside a lot of the mind games, the logic, we're able to connect into our heart space, into that higher frequency in order to receive messages from animals, animal spirits. Okay, some of us more than others. Now, and they also said it's time to surrender. Surrender to these, surrender to this journey, this yellow brick road, this continuous unexpected gifts. Surrender to the idea of these messages and opportunities without saying, okay, I want it to show up like this. Show me this if it's validation. If I'm right, show me a key. You know, try not to micromanage how you want this to show up for you. But they said within the surrender, also allow for excitement and hope. Allow for excitement and hope, because when you are in a state of excitement and in a state of hope, what it does is it opens up your heart space and brings more joy into the picture, allowing more integration into these higher dimensional messages. So it's kind of like, get excited, you know, get excited for this unexpected trajectory forward. I know that there has been a lot about Pluto moving out of Capricorn into Aquarius, it doing it literally right now, and saying goodbye to a long-standing energy of, um, you know, stagnation, force, logic, government, a lot of the inability to express ourselves freely. And some of us will feel this more than others, but I truly feel that as a collective, we are moving into a huge transition right now into almost claiming, yeah, claiming our freedom, claiming our rights, but also like claiming our sovereignty as individual spiritual beings, awakening to these multidimensional higher frequency consciousness that's available to all of us. So this is the beautiful message in which Source and my guides, and ultimately yours as well, has brought through for us today. So let's use that energy as we start off today, surrendering to a higher power and a greater gift. What do we need to see today that aligns with it? Okay, so the wolf spirit, how beautiful is this imagery, number 51. So 5-1 as a I just got like a really strong, like blanketed energy that kind of flew through me as the 5 and the 1 spoke to me. So this is wolf spirit. This is about family, and this can come in the form of our actual like family that we were born into, maybe our children, our spouse, our extended family, or you know, spiritual family, a spirit family in which we've connected to, that might align us into that frequency of that higher power, that higher dimensional frequency, and connecting to our spirit family that might resonate on a deeper level, maybe than that maybe necessarily the family we were born into. They're really drawing my focus to these two wolves here, the white wolf and the darker wolf. And that represents ultimately the divine connection between the masculine and the feminine. And that is really interconnecting right now. That is a very, very strong message in this higher frequency, that we're moving into this age of Aquarius, where there's this beautiful balance between masculine and feminine, that yeah, male and female for sure, but the balance between doing and receiving, between, you know, acting upon and allowing rest, you know, visionary and motion. Beautiful, beautiful message. Leadership. We have the stag spirit here, another wonderful, beautiful image. You know, stag spirit has really come up as an image for myself lately in a lot of actual readings that I've done. The stag has come forward with energy. This is number 39. If the number 39 resonates with you, 3 or 9 or 12. So the stag spirit is all about leadership. when I get the imagery for the stag spirit, I have this kind of divine, quiet, masculine leadership that comes through, where it's definitely like a force to be reckoned with, but not from the energy of the wounded masculine, not from that overpowering kind of Tasmanian devil kind of feeling, but more from this, like, as you can, when you see a stag and you see that like, even in this imagery, but like when you see one in life, you can feel the strength behind the leadership in the way the stag comes forward to lead. So this is really about taking charge of your own life, taking charge in a way that is divine and connected to what your greatest good is, walking down the path that's being illuminated for you in this form of authentic knowing, in unapologetically walking forward and, residing, claiming this beautiful light path and this leadership form. I know there's one more that can go with this. Spirit, one more card. Okay, knowledge, air spirit. Okay, so we have wolf, stag, and air. Knowledge, number one. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so swans are also been coming up a lot lately with the imagery of um, that kind of quiet transformation. And the transformation is the great transformation. That was the channeled message that came through beforehand. So it's almost like with the family, the wolf spirit of the family, being in, like, when you're in your center and you're surrounded by your like authentic people and your authentic family, whether it's by blood or by, by heart, your family, your that connection, those dynamic community in which that you've created, it is really strong in, again, you guys, this is really funny. They keep bringing me back to the Wizard of Oz and how you see these different individuals that come together on this path. Like, how different can each and every one of them be, from, Dorothy to the Tin Man to the Lion to the Scarecrow, and then you've got the Good Witch and the Bad Witch, and, like, and the Oompa Loompas, I think. No, that's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Yeah. No, this is the, guys, you're gonna have to tell me. I've only seen the movie once, and that was like probably 2 months ago. I watched it with my family, my like children. And when I watched it, I was like, oh my God, where have you been my whole life? Because so much resonated. I think I need to watch it again. Anyway, when you have a bunch of maybe individuals or people or situations that are unlikely combinations, but come together with the same um, drive. So, like, one might be looking to connect to their heart more, one might be looking to connect to their, courage more, but we're all going to the same place. We're all following that same road that we came here from, our higher consciousness. We came here on this road of humanhood, to develop and strengthen our soul's purpose, our soul's essence. And the division that's happening on our planet right now is so strong. It's so incredibly strong, yet we're all here on our journey. We're all looking for the same thing. We're all looking for that sense of why. We're all looking for that inherent need of worthiness and that almost like connection, right? And so maybe we have to be quiet leaders in that. Maybe sometimes we have to be louder leaders, but using and like zoning in on the strength of this leadership card in order to take us, to soar us further in this transformative time. And this is such a transformation card. It's number one, which is like the start of a new cycle. We've got the beautiful imagery of the swan, which is this representation of the new. And look, the air, that knowledge, that air spirit being like, connecting to this higher light source, this higher source knowledge, right? And there's a real divine feminine energy here too. So we have this, which is really integrating the divine feminine and masculine. This is a beautiful divine masculine card, and this is a beautiful divine feminine card. So this is really about the yin and the yang, the the sun and the moon, that beautiful integration of the two. And I really feel like this is about, connecting into that in each and every one of us so that we can move forward and be able to receive, as we walk forward on this path, essentially seeking the same thing as our neighbor, seeking that why and that beautiful love energy. Okay, so we're going to move this onto these beautiful white feathers, and we're going to ask for some more clarification using our tarot deck today. I love using the Good Tarot. I feel like it's just such a gorgeous deck. I'll put more of the information, but the Good Tarot is Colette Baron Reid. I love it. And the illumination of that big full moon on the front of the deck, which we just had last week, which was intense, if anybody can confirm that for me. We made it through the full moon. Whew. The last couple of weeks have been intense, guys. Don't feel alone on that. Trust me, you're not alone on how big that the last November, right? November has been pretty intense. What do we have here? What do we have here? Okay, we have High Priestess. Yeah, okay. So this is Divine Feminine. The Sun card. And the Ten of Earth. Well, I don't know about you. If I'm picking 3 cards from this deck that I want to see in a reading for myself, High Priestess, Sun, and Ten of Earth might just be the 3 I'd pick. Okay, so we have 2 tens, essentially the 19, 9, 10, and then the 10 of Earth. This is all like illuminated, like, oh, we've got another wolf here too. You can see the wolf in this picture. There we go. That's so powerful. That's absolutely amazing. Okay, so you guys, this is pretty self-explanatory as I'm feeling this so deep into my like solar plexus chakra. And then like the third eye chakra. So essentially the High Priestess is such a beautiful card to represent the divine feminine, to represent our innate connection to source, the cycles of our intuition leading us into ultimate intuitive knowing. This is such a strong card on connecting to our intuitive knowing. The Sun card coming out to illuminate the path ahead. This is the golden path that we're following. This is the unexpected trajectory of what is coming in the form of gifts. This is to say, hey, congratulations, you've done it. You've successfully moved through this huge transition period. You have worked your butt off to get out of this chrysalis that you had surrounding you for the past, gosh, I would say 3 years specifically. This is the butterfly emerging from the chrysalis. This is the opening of the light. This is the receptivity of that divine knowing and connection to source. This is moving into that power source of your knowing, receiving the light codes that come from our divine sun. This is this is huge, you guys. And sunflowers will continue to validate that for you. You'll probably see sunflowers in the next couple weeks to just validate your connection to this. And then the 10 of Earth is really about abundance. And I mean, it's not just about financial abundance, where although it really can be such a great indicator of financial abundance, but abundance in all things. So I remember when somebody said that to me too. They're like, oh, maybe your abundance isn't just financial. And I'm like, no, it is. Like, no, that's what it is. But truly, it's not. Like, I mean, like, it really helps. sure do love, and I've opened my heart to like open-heartedly receive financial abundance so that I can work it, transmute it, work it in so that I have this constant inflow and outflow. I know I'm not one that like gets and saves and holds on to. I kind of like integrate it into the energy, and I produce and input, and that creates this beautiful flow for myself. But this can also indicate real abundance in the things that light up your soul's purpose. So that might be in the form of freedom. You might have the opportunity that comes through in that unexpected way, might be in the form of freedom. You might have an opportunity to do some traveling, to take your knowledge or your business or something that you've been working really hard on the road so that you can experience some connection to community outside of your own. Maybe it's not in just freedom, but maybe it's creating an environment for yourself that reflects back to you exactly how you feel. So maybe you're looking to come into a new home, or if you've built a new home, or you've created a brand new workspace for yourself so that when you're sitting and doing work, you can create this abundance form through your work because your environment reflects back to you this beautiful art, the art of your own soul. What else are they saying with this? This is health. Oh, beautiful, beautiful health, realization in health, connection to your heart and your inner self elicits this beautiful love, the love energy that I see transmuting through your cells, awakening this crystalline energy to be able to produce this healthy vibrance that's moving through your body. I see any kind of maybe lower chakra blockages that are really being cooled. They're showing a cooling down of the heat that might be stuck within the first and second chakra. So this might be specific for some people. It's a very strong message that's coming through. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful set of cards. This is absolutely amazing, you guys. And I could feel this when I had the channel come through this morning about this card pull. I could feel the importance of this and how much we are really learning from this, and we are taking this knowledge and we are building a foundation for ourselves that is built on a whole new paradigm. It is built on intuitive knowing, trust, a divine connection with the land, earth energy, source energy. Love, heart connection is at the front and center of it, really. Okay, so this card that I'm going to be pulling now is from my Mary Magdalene deck. I don't usually use this deck because I know this sounds funny, but it's really personal. It's a really personal deck to me. Mary Magdalene brought me to it, and it is something that I like hold deep within myself, like deep knowledge. You know, when I've been talking about a lot about this, like sacred knowledge that's coming forward right now, and I feel like the sacred knowledge from the divine Mary Magdalene is coming forward. And this deck and oracle talks a lot about the sacred texts that have been found and deeply protected, that is from Mary Magdalene, who was a sacred counterpart, a divine connection, the yin to his yang, if you know what I mean. That was quite distorted through history. So she has been a guide and a light for me for many, many years. She helped wake me up. And she's just very, very personal. My relationship to Mary Magdalene is very personal, but I was very much guided to bring her into this reading. So, yeah, you guys, whoever's watching this is quite a sacred pull, I have to say. I can feel it so deeply. I hope you guys can too. Okay, what do we have? Okay, well, this is interesting because this card doesn't come up for me very much, but it's called the Alpha and Omega. So this is the Alpha and Omega symbolism, okay? And it says every ending is a new beginning, right? And then you can see behind this Alpha and Omega, you can see the sun rising, you can see the glow of the new. It looks like they are having kind of a sacred divine connection. I've seen myself in some of my divine sisters that have come together as of late, our higher selves, to meet in a group much like this in the caves of Avalon. Anyway, it says, the first will be the last, and the last the first. And the fact that we talked about new beginnings, new transitions, this new beginning coming forward from the swan, this whole reading essentially. But I would like to read this to you because the wisdom in the words that come forward from these cards are absolutely amazing. So let's see. Christ's parable of the vineyard workers describes a man who arrives in a vineyard late in the day, and yet he's given the same amount of pay for his brief labor as those who have been hard at work since dawn. Christ explains that in the world to come, or in the world that already exists invisibly within this one, those who are last shall be first, and the first last. This doesn't seem fair, though, or just, and that's precisely what the parable is meant to do. It's meant to get us all caught up in our ego so that we can release it. Ooh, it's meant to get us all caught up in our ego so that we can release it. Taking a brief second, I really feel like that was the intention of this full moon that just passed. It was to get us caught up in our ego so we could release whatever came to the surface of that one. That's why it was so nasty. Anyway, okay, let's keep going. If we really focus on what's fair according to the ego, we get tied up in feeling as if we're being cheated or betrayed. This comes from the ego's fear that there's only so much treasure to go around. We think this laborer, who only just showed up as the work was almost over, will take from what we would have received. According to the ego, what others get, we miss out on. There isn't a concept of plenty, only lack and scarcity. The ego can't conceive of any unconditional love that isn't concerned with what's fair when it comes to who can receive it. And I'm laughing just because I like how much has this come up too, is the scarcity and the letting go, and all of a sudden these little bits of fear that come trickling in because we think all of a sudden we're like, oh, hold on a sec, hold on a sec. I've been manifesting, I've been generating this from, this higher place. But then all of a sudden when a little bit of shadow comes in and that this fear arises, we're like, hold on to it, not enough, not enough, right? This is asking us to go so deep within ourselves to release the scarcity mentality that was, in my opinion, given to us way before we even started putting logical thought into our existence. Okay. It's when we realize this, that the last shall be first and the first last, the ego is released. And what had felt like a painful betrayal or an unjust situation expands into something new. We can revel in the unreasonable abundance of love, the unreasonable abundance of love. Oh, how amazing. The alpha is the first letter in the Greek alphabet, and the omega is the last. So, this is the practice. Keep releasing the ego, which means having massive amounts of mercy on ourselves and others. We keep reaching the omega point so we can rise again, which means starting over, going back to the beginning, humble, human, more merciful, more in love. And then they give you this soul voice meditation. What egoic story can I release right now so I can start again? This is absolutely amazing. This is about the great transformation, right? Coming out of the shell, coming out of the chrysalis allows us to start over, but we're starting over on a whole new paradigm of letting go of this scarcity and this fear. So when the fear and scarcity and that whole like not enoughness surfaces, it's not surfacing because it's reality. It's surfacing because it's in our face to let it go, so that we can really truly believe in the essence of that. I want to say like enoughness, but that term doesn't encapsulate the importance of this energy. Because, like, yes, we are enough. Yes, but like enough, that kind of feels like, oh, we've just got enough. It's more than that. We are unreasonably abundant. Like, it's just ever flowing, never like stopping, this beautiful interaction of just continually receiving this abundant form without the fear of being like, okay, well, when is the other shoe going to drop, or when is the well going to run dry, because I believe that it did. That's the old paradigm. That's the understanding that when somebody gets acknowledged for something great that they've done, that doesn't mean that their fire being ignited doesn't mean that yours is getting put out. Actually, igniting their fire ignites yours as well. Like, wow, how amazing is that? I really think this is such a beautiful message. And um, the overwhelming message here for everybody today is trusting the faith, trusting the fate of your existence, which is moving you into this beautiful illuminated reality. And look at how much this is all illuminated. Like, we are so divinely, like, spiritually connected. We are so intuitively connected. We're in our moon and our sun and our ultimate knowing and receiving. They really do mirror each other, right? You see these pentacles that are just like this pentacle, this divine knowing. This, she actually looks similar, right? And then the color palette of these two, of being in that divine feminine, that the priestess energy, that the cooling, that the receptivity, that emotional regulation, that heart space, and then standing in that sunlight, that resurrection of self. Oh, beautiful. I hope that this pull really connected to your heart space. And I really feel like we can take a lot from this, and we will take a lot from this, and really feel into the energy that came through each and every word today. And I'm sending you all so much love, um, and that your beautiful yellow brick road is illuminated by your divine masculine feminine interaction and your own knowing. Trust what is coming forward for you. Move forward with excitement and receptivity, because the path is going to continue to unfold within that trusting. Okay, try not to micromanage it. This is what's ahead of you. Okay, so I'm sending you all so much love, and I will see you all next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.